What this climate assessment does is really hopefully educates the public that this is not some faraway thing. We can do something about it. This is not just some pie-in-the-sky distant issue. This is something that already is affecting people who are getting hit by floods, increased wildfires, droughts. Climate change is already affecting Americans all across the country, in every region, although in different ways. This means that our kids and our grandkids may not have the same bright future or have the wonderful weather that we've enjoyed all these years. We also have a chance to turn back these rising temperatures if we take some bold actions now. And that's going to require a combination of government action, business action, and individual action.
Oh, yes, it is. Hello, everybody. On this beautiful day on the East Coast. I hope it's lovely all over the rest of the country. Given global warming, I understand the locusts are out, the Mississippi has turned red like the Nile. All kinds of stuff going on because of global warming. Our number is 877-381-3811, 877-381-3811. Now, I can do better than Barack Milhouse Hussein Obama, and better than his right-hand knucklehead, Podesta, and better than the EPA administrator. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got a list of the claims and news reports put together by a former professor, Dr. John Bringnell, University of Southampton in Britain, of the reports of what man-made global warming causes and has caused. I can do better than Obama and his book, which, of course, he hasn't read, his report. So let's spend the bulk of just the first segment on all of the things that global warming has caused. You ready? These are from actual news reports. Acne, agricultural land increase, Afghan poppies destroyed, Africa devastated, Africa aid threatened, Africa in conflict, aggressive weeds, again, actual news reports, air pressure changes, Alaska reshaped, allergies increase, Alps melting, Amazon a desert, American dream ended, amphibians breeding earlier, amphibians not breeding. Ancient forest dramatically changed, animals head for the hills. Arctic ice grows, Arctic ice shrinks, Arctic sea life at risk, anxiety treatment, algal blooms, archaeological sites threatened, Arctic bogs melt, Arctic in bloom, Arctic ice free, Arctic lakes disappear, Arctic tundra to burn, Atlantic Ocean less salty, Atlantic Ocean more salty, atmospheric circulation modified, attack of the killer jellyfish, avalanches reduced, avalanches increased, Baghdad has snow, Bahrain is underwater, bananas growing, a beer shortage, beetle infestation, better beer. Want to hear more? Big melt faster, billion-dollar research projects, billion homeless, billions face risk, billions of deaths. Bird distributions change, bird visitors drop, birds confused, birds return early, birds driven north. Bitter boom ends, blackbirds stop singing, blizzards, blue muzzles return, blue tongue, brains shrink, bridges collapse in Minnesota, Britain, Siberia, British gardens change, brothels struggle, Brown Ireland, bubonic plague, budget increases, Buddhist temple threatened, building collapse, buildings, I'm only in the bees. Bushfires, business opportunities, business risks, this is what global warming affects. Butterflies move north, camel deaths, cancer deaths in England, cannibalism, cataracts, caterpillar biomass shift, cave paintings threatened, childhood insomnia, cholera, circumcision in decline, civil unrest, cloud increase, cloud stripping, cockroach migration, coffee threatened, cold climate creatures survive, cold spells in Australia, cold wave in India, computer models, conflict with Russia, The coral bleaching, coral reefs dying, coral reefs growing, coral reefs shrink, cost of trillions, cougar attacks, cradle of civilization threatened, crime increase, crocodile sex. This is what global warming affects, according to news reports. Crops devastated, crumbling roads, bridges, sewer systems, cyclones in Australia, cyclones in Myanmar, danger to kids' health, Darfur death rate increase, dung hemorrhage, depression, desert advance, desert retreat, disappearance of coastal cities, diseases move north, ducks and geese decline, dust bowl in the Corn Belt, early marriages, early spring, earlier pollen season, I'm on the E's, obviously, Earth biodiversity crisis, Earth light dimming, Earth lopsided, Earth melting, Earth morbid fever, Earth on fast track to where I don't know, Earth slowing down, Earth spins faster, Earth to explode, Earth upside down, Earth wobbling, earthquakes, El Nino intensification, erosion, emerging infections, encephalitis, English villages lost, equality threatened, Europe simultaneously baking and freezing, evolution accelerating, extinctions, human, civilization, and so forth, cod, ladybirds, this is what global warming affects, pikas, polar bears, gorillas, walrus, whales, frogs, toads, plants, salmon, trout, wildflower, woodlice, penguins, 1 million species, half of all animal and plant species, mountain species, not polar bears, barrier reef, leeches, extreme changes to California, fading fall foliage, fainting, famine, farmers going under, fashion disaster, fever. We're only in the F's. Fish catches drop, fish downsize, fish catches rise, fish becoming deaf, fish get lost, fish have sex changes, fish stocks decline, 5 million illnesses, flesh-eating disease, flood patterns change, floods of beaches and cities, flood of migrants, Florida economic decline, flowers in peril, food poisoning, food prices soaring, food security threat, I'm only in the F's, food path erosion, forest decline, forest expansion, frog with extra heads, frostbite, frost damage increase, frosts, fungi invasion, Garden of Eden wilts, genetic diversity decline, gene pools slashed, giant oysters invade, giant pythons invade, giant squid migrate, gingerbread houses collapse, glacial earthquakes, glacial retreat, glacial growth, glacial wrapper, global cooling, global warming, global dimming, glowing clouds, golf masters wrecked, grasslands wetter, Greater Barrier Reef 95% dead, Great Lakes drop, greening of the North gray whales lose weight, Gulf Stream failure, harmful algae, harvest increase, harvest shrinkage, hay fever epidemic, health of children harmed, heart disease, heart attacks, strokes, heat waves, hibernation affected, hibernation ends too soon, hibernation ends too late, HIV epidemic, HIV increasing, homeless 50 million, hornets. Human development faces unprecedented reversal. This is what global warming affects, according to a huge collection of news stories. I'm only in the H's. Human development faces unprecedented reversal. Human fertility reduced. Human health improvement. Hurricanes increasing. Hurricanes decreasing. Hydropower problems. Hypothermia deaths. Ice sheet growth. Ice sheet shrinkage. Ice shelf collapse. Inclement weather. India drowning. Infrastructure failure in Canada. Infectious diseases. Inflation in China. Insect explosion. Yes, invasion of cats. Invasion of herons, invasion of jellyfish, invasion of midges, island disappears, island sinking, insurance increases, itchier poison ivy, jets falling from the sky, jet stream drifts north, kidney stones, kitten boom, krill decline, lake and stream productivity decline, lake empties, lake shrinking, lake growing, landslides, lawsuits increase, Loch Ness monster dead, lush growth in rainforests, malaria, mammoth dung melt, maple production advanced, maple syrup shortage, marine diseases, marine food chain decimated, Mediterranean rises, melanoma, methane emissions from plants, methane burps, methane runaway, melting permafrost, Middle Kingdom convulses, migration deficit in birds, microbes to decompose soil carbon more rapidly. Minorities hit worse. Let's see, Mont Blanc grows, monkeys on the move, monuments imperiled, moose dying, more bad air days, more raw sewage, mortality increase, Mount Everest shrinking, mountains breaking up, mountains melting, mountains taller, mortality lower. Am I boring you, Mr. Producer? It's amazing. I'm only in the M's. National security implications, natural disasters quadruple, new islands, next ice age, NFL threatened, Nile Delta damaged, oaks dying, oaks move north, ocean deserts expand, ocean waves speed up, opera house to be destroyed, outdoor hockey threatened, ozone repair slowed, ozone rise, Pacific dead zone, pest outbreaks, pests increase, plankton blooms, plankton destabilized, plankton loss, plant viruses, plants march north. Plants march north. Anyway, polar bears more aggressive, polar bears cannibalistic, polar bears drowning, polar bears starve, popcorn rise. Wow. Porpoise astray, psychiatric illness, puffin decline, railroad tracks deformed, rainfall increase, a rape wave, refugees, release of ancient frozen viruses. Remember, these are news stories, how global warming affects fill in the blank. Release of ancient frozen viruses. Resorts disappear. Rice threatened. Rice yields crash. River flow impacted. Rivers raised. Roads wear out. Robins rampant. Rocky peaks crack apart. Roof of the world a desert. Ross River disease. Ruins ruined. Salinity increases. Salmonella increases. Satellites accelerate. School closures. Sea level rise faster. Seals mating more. Sewer bills rise, severe thunderstorms, sharks attacking, sharks booming, sharks moving north, sheep shrink, shop closures, short-nosed dogs endangered, shrinking ponds, shrinking shrines, ski resorts threatened, skin cancer, slow death, smaller brains, smog, snowfall increase, snowfall reduction, societal collapse, songbirds change eating habits, sour grapes, space problems, spiders invade Scotland, squid aggressive giants, squid population explodes, squirrels reproduce earlier. Storms are wetter. Stormwater drains stress. Street crime to increase. So is suicide. Swordfish in the Baltic. Tectonic plate movement. Teenage drinking. Terrorism. Threat to peace. Ticks moves northward in Sweden. Tornado outbreak. Tourism decrease. Tourism increase. Trade barriers. Trade winds weaken. Transportation threatened. Tree foliage increase in the UK. Tree growth slowed. Trees could return to Antarctica. Trees in trouble. Trees less colorful. Trees more colorful. Trees lush. Tropics expansion, truffle shortages, turtles crash, turtles lay earlier, vampire moths, Venice flood, we're in the V's, congratulations. Volcanic eruptions, walrus pups orphaned, walrus stampede, wars over water, wars sparked, wars threaten billions, water bills double, water supply unreliability, water scarcity, water stress, weather out of its mind, weather patterns awry, weeds, West Nile fever, whales move north, it appears everything's moving north. Wheat yields crushed in Australia. Wildfires, wind shift, wind reduced. Wine, harm to Australian industry. Wine, harm in the English industry. More English wine, German Boon wine. No more French wine. Let's see. Winters in Britain colder. Winter in Britain dead. Witchcraft executions. Wolves eat more moose. Wolves eat less moose. Workers laid off. World at war. World bankruptcy. World in crisis. World in flames. Yellow fever. I got through it all. Maybe they're on to something with this global war, ladies and gentlemen. Sounds treacherous.